Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jerome coming to you today with the review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season 5, episode 6, titled Pretty Hurts. So, without further ado, let's get this video started. Okay, so this episode, it opens up with K Michelle. She and Moniece are going to see a doctor. And, K Michelle's going to see about getting these, the silicone taken out of her butt. Because, she's talking about how about a year ago, it hurts for her to stand up and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, God, like, why can't, I know we see everything in social media about what the perfect body's supposed to look like. You got the Kardashian girls with the big booties and the filler injections and all that kind of shit. And then you see people who go to these doctors and get, the fake abs, the fake chest and all that kind of stuff. And then they promote it as if, it's their real body. And then you'll see them in the gym working out, talking about, fitness and all that kind of stuff. And it's nothing wrong with that and all that kind of stuff. But just know what you put into your body. That's the main thing. First of all, know what you put in your body. And then number two, loving the body that you are born into. Like, there's no perfect human being. So I don't know why we feel like there has to be a perfect body and all that kind of stuff. So, K Michelle is sitting down with the doctor and, he's asking her, when, just give her a timeline of everything. So she's saying that she did this 5 years ago and, she just went to somebody that everybody went to in Atlanta and all that kind of stuff. And I really do feel bad for K Michelle because, like I said, you have to love the body that you are in and all that kind of stuff. Now, backtrack. When K Michelle and Moniece got there, Moniece is there basically just to support K Michelle because that's her girl and all that kind of stuff. And, she's there to support her basically because of all that. The last thing that happened with K Michelle and Moniece was at her, backstage at her concert when she got into it with Ray J and all that kind of stuff. And, that's why Moniece is there just to support K Michelle. And, K Michelle's talking about even, Lyrica, big Lyrica, how she did the food. But, K Michelle's like how she's not going to fight with anybody, mom, and all that kind of stuff. And then, Moniece is telling K Michelle about Donatella's showcase where you had La Brittany there and who couldn't sing on tune to save her life. And, how Clutch and Pearls, how him and Rockstar got into it. And, Lyrica is saying, Lil L is saying that that's her, they best friends and all that kind of stuff. But, that's it for that one. But back to K Michelle and this body thing. Like, to everybody out there, just love the body that you have. Like, when it comes to like, if you have a big stomach, no booty and all that kind of stuff, you can, there are workouts that you can do that can help you tone up your body, make your body look how you want it to look. It just takes time. Stop doing this quick fix shit and thinking that, you're going to get the results that, you will get the results that you want, but how happy will you be with those results? So just think about that. Okay, and then we have K Michelle. She is having her surgery. It's 2 years since, she's been having all these issues with her body and all that kind of stuff. And once again, I really do feel bad for K Michelle. I hope that, this is a testament to young girls out there. Don't let what social media says, don't let what, the magazines say, don't let what anybody say make you feel bad about who you are. God made all of us the way we are. We should be happy with who we are, how we look, and all that kind of stuff. And, if you can fix stuff, do it the right way. Don't go to somebody who you don't know, who's not licensed and all that kind of shit. Like, do your shit the right way if you are going to do it. Like, make sure it's above board and all that kind of stuff. Like, because I can sit here and talk about this all day, but I have my issues as well. I have my issues with my teeth, and as you can see, I have braces on my teeth. But I went about this the right way. I didn't want to go to somebody who I did not fucking know to do my shit. So again, do the shit the right way. If you're gonna get it done, make sure it's somebody that you know and trust and you've done your research on them. Like, don't just go because everybody says, oh, they good. Do the research, take the time, before you actually seek this shit out. Because once it's done, you can be like, hey Michelle, you can affect your health and all that kind of stuff. Like, I actually saw something on Twitter a few weeks ago where a girl got some stuff in her butt, and it just completely tore up the inside of her body. And I'm like, why? But keep that in mind, everybody. Just do what's right for you, but make sure, when you look back on it, you don't regret it, number one, and it doesn't adversely affect your life. Okay, so then we move back over to K Michelle. It's 2 days after K Michelle has had her surgery, and she lets us know that, well, actually we see Moniece there, and she lets us know that Moniece is like the only person who's really checked on her since the surgery. And I actually remember back when this actually took place, because K Michelle was on social media, and K Michelle is in her feelings because she feels like nobody that she's actually paid their rent, made them famous and all that kind of stuff, i.e. Jonathan. Because this is back in the time where K Michelle and Jonathan were going back and forth with each other via Twitter, because again, she said that her friend didn't even come to check on her because she was almost on her death. I think she said she was almost on her deathbed or some stuff like that, how everything was going so bad for her, which I understood where K Michelle was coming from at that time. This was something that he and all of the world knew she was doing. And, I guess you really felt some type of way because, without her, Jonathan would have never had the opportunity probably to be on Love and Hip Hop New York, although he said he knew Yandy and Juju and all that kind of stuff. But, this is making K Michelle question some stuff, which I don't even know if K Michelle and Jonathan are cool at this point right now. But like I said, I get where K Michelle was coming from, but I do remember back during this time that Jonathan also said that he had some family issues going on at that time, and that's why he really couldn't be there for K Michelle and all that kind of stuff, because he was dealing with some stuff in his personal life, so he couldn't just really drop everything just to be there for K Michelle. So like I said, I get it. And then Moniece is just telling K Michelle, because K Michelle's talking about how she has vengeance in her heart and she wants to get revenge and all that kind of stuff. And I was actually here with what Moniece said. You have to forgive them, K, for you, not for them and all that kind of stuff. So I actually agree with what Moniece was saying. And then, Moniece, when she was looking at K Michelle, Moniece was talking about how she got her breast done and all that kind of stuff. And I think Moniece said she had her own little issues that she had. And looking back on it, hindsight is 20/20. Moniece, I think Moniece is saying that if she could reverse it, the things that she's done, she would. And it goes to show, just because you change the outside appearance, it doesn't change what you think and feel on the inside. And I think a lot of people do feel that way. Like, if I change like how my nose look, or how my teeth look, or how for women, how my boobs look, or for anybody, how my stomach looks, have a 6-pack ab and all kind of stuff, I think people feel that that'll make them feel better on the inside. But you have to start on the inside first to make the outside match what the inside is. Like, you can fix, it's like with a car. You can fix up the outside of a car all day, every day, but the working mechanisms of the inside of the car, if that shit is fucked up, the car is not going to run. So like I said, fix yourself on the inside, love who you are first before you actually try to work on the outside appearance. Because beauty fades. Like, we all are gonna get old. Like, nothing on our bodies will look the same. Like, how I look now at 29, I'm not gonna look this way at 59. So like I said, love the skin you in, love your body, love your hair, love everything about yourself. And then, like I said, take time to love yourself on the inside. Nobody else will. And then you got Bridget and Brooke. Bridget and Brooke are getting a makeover done. And, they're sitting there and, Bridget is asking Brooke what's going on between she and Marcus in their relationship. And, basically, Brooke is saying that their relationship is pretty much non-existent at this point, but she ain't going to say that. And, she's telling, this is actually the first time that Brooke and Bridget have met up since Brooke went in to have her surgery to get the lumps taken off her breast. So, she's telling Bridget how she invited Stassi over to her house, and then Marcus came over there as usual. And then, that was her opportunity to tell Marcus to break up with Stassi. And, she was like, when I told him to break up with him, she go downstairs, and then she tells me that she might be pregnant. And Bridget's like, she said she might be pregnant. And then the stylists that were around there, that's like I felt like that was an actual real scene. Because, when I've seen where women go to the beauty shops and stuff, and they talk to their beauticians, and their beauticians act just like that. So, Brooke tells her that she was not pregnant, and, that she broke up with Marcus and all that kind of stuff. And, now Brooke is telling Bridget how she has a plan that she needs Bridget's help with. And I'm like, okay, when did y'all become like ace boon coons with each other? Because last season, y'all were going at it with each other, but whatever. And then in walks Paris. So, Paris, she sits down with them, and she's talking about how she's stressed out with this Tierra and Akbar and his wife situation. And, she tells him what's going on. And, Brooke is like, I know Akbar. I met him about 5 years ago. He dated two of my friends, but at the same time, he was also trying to shoot his shot at me. But, when I saw Akbar, he always had plenty of females around him, so she wasn't feeling that at all. And then, Paris, back to Paris, she's telling them how she met up with the wife and all that kind of stuff. And, excuse me, Brooke is also talking about it again. So she's telling Paris how, she saw Akbar about a month or so ago, and he was with some chick, and then the chick was going off on her about, do you know him and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, Akbar told her to chill out and all that kind of stuff. And, Paris shows her the picture of his wife, and she's like, nah, that's not her. That girl is chocolate. This girl is, kind of light skinned and all that kind of stuff. So, we find out there is another person in the picture. And, Paris is just like, how the fuck do I tell Tierra all this information now? Like, what do I say to her? And then you got Bridget and cuckoo ass Brooke. They are dress shopping. And I was confused. I'm like, is Brooke doing a wedding dress shop? Or, like, what is she doing? Like, I was kind of confused by that, but whatever. So, like I said, Bridget's there. And, Brooke has Bridget doing some stuff for her that she needs to do. She's setting up flights for people to get there. And then, she's asking her, how do I explain to people what they come here for? And, because they have questions. And, Brooke is trying to tell them, well, tell people that I'm performing and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, my God, Brooke, why are you making yourself look this thirsty for Marcus? Like, I don't get it. Like, she fine as shit, man. And I'm not understanding why she's sitting here making herself look thirsty. Okay, and then we move over to Paris. Paris, she is working out with Akbar's other side, bitch. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, she look like, her face looks like all kind of bad leather and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, ugh. Like, she ugly as fuck. So Nikki Baby is supposed to be meeting with Paris and all that kind of stuff. So once, so Nikki Baby does get there. And as soon as she gets there, Paris immediately tells him, yeah, she with Akbar, because Paris asked her about, about what, excuse me, she asked that girl, what the MDE stood for, and she told her that, it's her and Akbar's gym and all that kind of stuff. And then, like I said, when Nikki got there, Paris told her, yep, Akbar's her dude. And she's like, why y'all questioning me about Akbar? And then they were like, well, Akbar's dating our friend Tierra and all that kind of stuff. And when Paris had said that, this chick didn't even look like she was the slightest bit phased about it. She was like, okay. And then they were like, he's married. She's like, yeah. And I'm with Nikki, like, what kind of sister wife shit is going on? Like, you are making Tara and Amina look like, middle school kids. Like, bitch, y'all are literally fucking sister wives. Like, y'all know about each other. Like, what? What the fuck? And then Leatherskin gonna sit there and tell Nikki that, oh, I think you just want to be with us. Nikki like, no, I think you want me, but it's not gonna happen. So Nikki and Leatherface start getting into it, and Leatherface like, I think I need to leave. Don't make me come over and make you leave. And I'm like, you know what? y'all might want to listen to Leatherface and just get the fuck out of Dodge, because Leatherface look like she can crack a walnut with her ass cheeks. So y'all might want to just slide to the left, slide to the left, and get the fuck out. So then we get this little small ass scene with Tierra Marie. She and Akbar are in the park. She's working out with them, Big Whoop. So Tierra is talking about, this whole situation with Akbar and his wife and all that kind of stuff. And, she knows her friends have her back and, has her best interest at heart. But she feels like, when it comes to a relationship, you have to have love and you have to have trust. And, Akbar told her that there's no truth to, this wife situation. So she has to believe Akbar. And I'm like, why do you have to believe Akbar again? But if that's what Tierra want to say, let Tierra have that. Because, she's also talking about how she and Akbar have been working on music and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, Tierra, what music have you and Akbar been working on? Because we haven't heard any of this music that you supposedly working on. And, she's talking about how he's a fitness coach and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, Tierra. I think Tierra needs to go back to, I'm not going to say rehab, but she needs to go have an AA meeting and figure out what's going on in her life, that she has to cling to men that use her and abuse her and all that kind of stuff. And I don't mean physically abuse her. I just mean mentally abuse her. Like, there's something seriously wrong inside of Tierra's head. Like, I don't know what it is. And then we get this scene that I really 100% could have done without. So we got Rockstar. He is meeting up with this quote artist. Her name is Amber Diamond. Now, when she came onto the scene, she let us know that, we may know her as Cisco's ex-girlfriend. And I'm sitting here thinking, Cisco? The singer Cisco? Bitch, what? Then I thought about it. She ain't talking about that Cisco. She talking about Mr. Potato Head. That's the Amber that, was with Cisco last season that he was cheating on Tierra with. So I'm like, oh, that broad. So, Rockstar comes in there. He sits down with her. He's talking to her. And Rockstar really just want to fuck every female artist that he comes up against. First, it was Apple Watts. Then it was Lil L. And now it's Amber Diamond. Like, because he asking her, is there any dudes that he got to worry about popping up and all that kind of stuff? And she like, nah, and all that kind of stuff. And then she's talking about how she want to, take her career to the next level and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what's the next level? Ground floor? Basement floor? Like, what is it? Like, nobody knows who you are. So, she's talking about how she's a singer and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, everybody on this show is a motherfucking singer. So, Rockstar's talking about, well, what's, how am I going to get compensated for this and all that kind of stuff. And then she's like, oh, well, my manager's coming. So her manager comes in and it's her mother. Her name is Sean motherfucking Love. And, Sean is a producer. I'm not a producer. She is a promoter. She's a manager and she's a hustler and all that kind of shit. Let her tell him. Talking about how, people confuse her for Amber's younger sister. I'm like, where? In your wig? But whatever. So, mama just sits down and, she's talking about how she's trying to get her daughter a hit and all that kind of stuff. And then, Rockstar talking about he's looking for $100,000 to get her a hit. I'm like, $100,000 for what? Like, nigga, you better be giving me at least more than one fucking song for $100,000. I don't know how much how much a studio session costs, but I know it ain't no $100,000. And I know it ain't $100,000 for somebody like you who is, to me, is an unknown. Like, I don't know anything about Rockstar, so I'm not gonna sit here and pay this nigga $100,000 fucking dollars. So then her mama goes into her purse and takes out nothing but stacks of 20s. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck walks around with that kind of money in a purse like that? Like, really? You just asking for some motherfucker to walk up off the street and just rob your ass blind and kill you. Like, what the fuck? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, Mona, whose money did you let her borrow? Like, who do y'all have to get that back to? And then I'm over there, I'm sitting here questioning myself because it's $20,000 supposedly. And I'm like, who the fuck willingly walks around with 20 G's in a pocket, in a purse like that? Like, I don't know no motherfucker that would do that. And then I'm sitting here questioning, like, who the fuck does business like this? Like, You giving this motherfucker $20,000. You don't have a product and you don't have a fucking contract. So he can fuck you over completely and be like, you know, you can be like, nigga, I gave you $20,000. He can be like, say what? You gave me $20,000? When? You never gave me $20,000. Did we sign a contract? Did I give you a product? I don't remember $20,000. It could just work that easily. Like, I'm like, really? Like, people need to really think. So, her mom is telling Rockstar what she wants. So basically, this $20,000 is to get her one song on Rockstar's side. But her mama wants her to have an EP. He's like, well, an EP is, you know, 7 songs. And she was like, you know, so you gonna, she's like, and then she said she'll give him the $20,000 now and another 20 when the product is finished. So I'm like, you gonna get this nigga $40,000 for one fucking song? Like, what? I don't know if that's too cheap or if that's too much money. Like, I was really hella confused by that shit. Like, and then, you know, Ross started talking about where he want to take her and by giving her this hit. Like, where? What charts? Like, who? Like, that scene just really threw me the fuck off. All right, and then we got Rockstar. He is in the studio with Amber, and that shit that she was singing, what the flying motherfucking fuck was that? Like, that shit sounded so fucking horrible. And then, you know, he ended up pacing around and all that kind of shit. And again, that girl sounded so fucking horrible. Excuse me. When it comes to Rockstar, he is mad fucking cocky, and it's not even a good type of cocky. And his vibe, it just throws me off and all that kind of shit. So, you know, he gets on the mic and tells Amber, you know, hey, you did that shit. Like, you did that. And I'm like, nigga, why are you lying to her? You already got the $20,000. Like, tell a bitch, you know, it needs a little bit of a tweak. I mean, you will still be lying, but don't be sitting there telling this bitch that she sound good, because knowing damn well she didn't sound good at all. So they are sitting down, and, you know, she starts giving Rockstar this side story about how her mom, you know, basically trying to control her life, runs men off in her life and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I was like, Rockstar, whatever. So then, you know, she's also talking about how her mom doubts that she can sing. I'm like, shit, your mama doubts it, I doubt it, the whole world doubts it. Hell, even Helen Keller herself would doubt it. And Helen Keller was deaf. Like, you can't sing. You sing in one tone. Like, you are pitch and like you tone deaf. Like, you sing in one straight tone. Actually, I don't even know if I would call that singing what she was doing. That was like, I don't know what that is, but it wasn't singing. So, you know, and I'm sorry, did Rockstar compare her to Mariah, Whitney, and Madonna? Okay. Were they, did they have laryngitis that day that you were comparing them to her? Like, I'm sorry, because no comparison whatsoever. Like, what? So then Amber lets Rockstar know that her mama, you know, she's planning for the cover of her album. She's doing a release party, and she's doing a photo shoot. But again, you got no product, and yeah, you have no product, and you don't know how it sounds. Yeah, save that money. You could have, like, that $20,000 that she took out of her purse for him to produce this song for what's his girl name is, Amber. You could have put that money for a car, a house. Just put it away for a rainy day, not for her whack ass music, that her non-existent music career. And then you got Lil L and Apple Watts. Lil L is me with Apple because, you know, she's still thinking about the whole shit that happened at Donatella's event. And she thought, what better way than to get over that is to work out with Apple Watts. So she and Apple Watts are doing stripper workout stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I actually really do like Apple Watts. She's actually a cool girl, you know. And, you know, Apple is asking Lil L about what happened at the showcase, how, you know, asking her about her and LaBrittany getting into it, thinking that they was gonna squab and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, Lil L is just telling her that the reason why she did all that was because, you know, she saw LaBrittany on stage with Clutch and Pearls dancing, and then she also saw her in his DMs and all that kind of stuff. And from what Lil L was saying, it sounded like the DMs were nothing like, oh, I want to sleep with you, oh, I want to do this with you. Besides, it was nothing but work. And Lil L's like, I understand that these girls want to work with Clutch and Pearls because he's the hottest producer around. I'm like, he's the hottest Love and Hip Hop producer, but I don't know if he's the hottest producer around right about now. But she's talking about how she respected Apple because Apple came to her like a woman. But when it comes down to LaBrittany, I don't think you would have been feeling that way if messy ass Rockstar had never said anything to you about that. I think it could have been a different story if, like I said, if he never brought it to her. And then Apple is also asking her about the Rockstar situation, how him and Clutch and Pearls got into it. And she was like, back when her and Clutch and Pearls first got together, that she cut a lot of people off, and I guess one of them was Rockstar. So she feels like Rockstar probably got a little bit upset, got a little jealous because she cut him off, and she stopped the business relationship with him and all that kind of stuff. So she feels like that might be the reason for the issue between Clutch and Pearls and Rockstar. And I'm like, if you say so, Lyrica, we gonna roll in with it. And then while they're talking, Apple Watts gets either a text message or a phone call from her dad, and she's talking about the relationship she has with her dad, and a relationship that she has with him is very strained because he wasn't in her life. He got her mama pregnant, but then after she found out, her mom found out she was pregnant, I guess he up and left her, and she's just now reconnecting with him within the last few years. And I actually understand where Apple is coming from in that scene, because it is hard when you never really had a relationship with a parent, but then all of a sudden they come into your life and they want to be a part of your life, and you're like, but where were you at X amount of years ago? So I actually understood where Apple was coming from in that situation. I also did forget to mention that when Apple and Lil Lyrica was talking, Apple was asking her what's gonna be the state of her and Clutch and Pearl's relationship. And she was like, what, I love him and all that kind of stuff, and I hope that we can eventually get to the point where we can work things out. And looks like now they probably are going to work things out, but we'll get into that a little bit. Then you got Clutch and Pearls. He is filming a music video, and he is sitting there with his shirt open. I'm like, damn, nigga, you look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Your stomach is kind of sticking out. I'm not shading him, but then you got a little side boob. I'm like, oh, okay. But whatever. We done with that. So while he's shooting his music video, he's telling his feelings about the whole situation that happened at Donatella's showcase as well. So he got his boy Marcus there, and once he finishes shooting the video, he and Marcus go outside, and Marcus is giving Clutch and Pearls a rundown of what happened between him, Brooke, and Stassi. Dumb, and dumber. So he's telling Clutch and Pearls asks him, so are you about to be a daddy? He says, no, I'm not about to be a daddy. She wasn't pregnant. But let me tell you this. Brooke, she came down to the clinic, and she had some condoms, and she threw them at Stassi and all that kind of stuff. And then Stassi gonna break up with me. Like, she beat me to the punch because, I didn't see this going anywhere with her at all. I want to be with Brooke. And he was like, you want to be on the crazy train? He was like, yeah, man, I love Brooke's form of crazy. I'm like, okay, if you love her form of crazy, if you might wake up one morning and you're missing a leg, missing a toe, missing a foot, missing your dick, missing your balls, missing a finger, missing a whole lot of shit, fucking with Brooke crazy ass. And that's the sad part, is like, Brooke is fine as fuck, but she coming off so fucking thirsty and all this kind of stuff. So Marcus then asked Clutch and Pearls what's going on between him and Lil Lyrica and all that kind of stuff. And he tells him about how Lil Lyrica and LaBrittany got into it at the fashion show, and not the fashion show, but the showcase. And then he's also telling him about how him and what's that nigga name, Rockstar, got into it. And this is making him think a little bit, because like, damn, me and Rockstar got into it, and my wife is over here defending me despite all the shit that's going on between us. And he does let Marcus know that Lil Lyrica has texted him and all that kind of stuff. So he's thinking about going and sitting down with Lil Lyrica. Okay, so then we get this scene with Apple. She is meeting with her dad, And she's finding it kind of hard to open up to her dad and all that kind of stuff. And then she's also questioning him being in her life at this point, which, like I said earlier, I do understand that. And when she said something in this scene, it really resonated with me, and I understood Apple a lot more with what she said, because she said that her dad had 4 other kids besides her that he actually raised, but Apple was placed in foster care because of some decisions that her mother made. And Apple just wants to know, why didn't you come for me? Like, you had 4 other kids. Why come you didn't come for me? Why come you didn't do anything where it came, where it involved me? But her dad says that he really didn't know that she was in foster care, which I kind of call bullshit on that, because that's your child. Like, how can you not keep up with your child? Like, I don't get that. And like I said, I understand where Apple's coming from, because I too have been in that position. I was in that position when I was 13 years old. I found out that my mother, who is deceased now, is not actually my mother. She was my aunt. My birth mother is her niece. My birth mother went to Michigan, where she had me, left me in Michigan, came back home with my older brother, and then she had other kids after me. And she raised those kids, so I absolutely understood where Apple was coming from, because it really does hurt to think about, damn, you raised 4 other kids besides me, but I'm the only one that you gave away, and you didn't come back for it. And it just, it's a lot of stuff that you have to deal with. And Apple does know that she has to deal with it, because she says that she wants to sit down and she wants to talk to somebody. And her dad says, you know what, we'll sit down and we'll talk to somebody and I'll pay for it. And I actually like that, because for Apple, she's getting to sit down and talk to somebody with him there. And, he's not going to be objective. He's not going to try to, place blame on other people. So I like that, how that's happening for Rockstar. I wish it happened for me, but I'm almost 30 and I'm not gonna hold my breath anymore, because I've tried to get my point across. It never goes anywhere. It's always someone else's fault. So I really do hope that works out for Rockstar, because like I said, not Rockstar, but Apple, because I do know what that feels like. I really do. It hurts like a motherfucker. All right. So then we got Lil Lyrica and Clutch and Pearls. She's at their house, and this is actually the first time that they are talking to each other since the last time that they had that argument with each other and make themselves look like complete fucking fools, which even Lil Lyrica says that. And they don't really see each other, and they don't really talk to each other. And it's really crazy and sad at the same time to see their marriage kind of at the beginning of the season disintegrating, which I was wondering if they were pulling a Kirk and Rashida on us and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. But, they sit down. Little Lyrica finally comes to Clutch and Pearls and say, I'm going to look at you on your eyes, and I'm going to tell you that nothing happened between Safari and I. She's talking about, you believe what K. Michelle said and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, yeah, I got in my feelings. I fought with my brother. I fought with Safari. I fought with Rockstar. But, it is what it is. But he's also like, you stood up for me. And she was like, yeah, she's going to always do that and all that kind of stuff. And then, he's telling her how, with Lil Britney disrespecting her and all that kind of stuff, he can't work with somebody who disrespects his wife and all that kind of stuff. So at this point, they are finally seeing eye to eye on things with each other. And then, Little Lyrica, she's like, I finally figured out probably why I've been acting the way I've been acting. She pulls out her pregnancy test and she lets him know that she is in fact pregnant and expecting a baby. And, he's over the moon, ecstatic about this and all that kind of stuff. So then they were like, well, how are we going to tell our family? Right now, his family can't stand, Lil Lyrica and all that kind of stuff. But they do decide that, hey, let's sit down and have dinner and explain it to them that way. And then lastly, we got Lil Lyrica and Clutch and Pearls. They are meeting with the family to tell them that they are having a baby. So, you got Lloyd there, you got his wife Patrice there, and you got Mama Dap. Shout out to Forest Rocks for that one. And, oh my God, I was looking at that table, like all of their wigs were fucking trash. Like, You got Mama Dap's wig. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is it faux lock? Is it a faux lock wig? And I'm sorry, but you can see the lace, right? You could see the lace right there. And I'm like, oh my God. And then her makeup was so caked on. And then her eyebrows looked like they were, tattooed on and all that kind of shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with Mama Dap? And then you got Little Lyrica's wig. I'm like, oh my God, your wig looked just as bad as Mama Dap's. And then you got Patrice's wig. I'm like, what the fuck is up with her wig? And then after Little Lyrica said last week about, clutching pearls with him, and that, his dreads been fake. I'm like, we got a table full of fake fucking hair, and they all look horrible. Like, I can't stop looking at none of y'all's hair. Like, what the fuck? So, Big Brother Lloyd, he and his feelings like, why is she here and all that kind of stuff. And, Clutching Pearls is like, we sat down, she looked me in my eyes, and she told me that, nothing happened between her and Safari. And he said, I know when my wife is lying, much like, when your wife is lying. And again, Lloyd is still in his feelings because he felt like, is she here, so we can talk about divorce and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, why are you trying to push your brother toward getting a divorce from his wife? Like, I don't get it. So then, Patrice, she tells Lil Lyrica that they barely talk. And then, Lloyd is talking about how Clutching Pearls has changed up and how he's gone Hollywood. He's like, how have I changed? And then, Mama Dap is like, you done gone Hollywood. And, Lloyd is basically like, the communication between him and Clutching Pearls is not what it used to be. He calls him, he texts him, and, days go by before he even hears from him and all that kind of stuff. And then Mama Dap like, yeah, y'all were raised together. Y'all were like this. And I'm like, okay, he does have a wife. Like, he can't, I get it. Y'all are brothers, but as you get older, that relationship kind of does, take not a backseat, but it shifts when you get married and you have kids and all that kind of stuff. So, whatever. And, then Patrice starts going off on Lil Lyrica, talking about, actually Lil Lyrica's like, y'all not happy that we back together? And Patrice is like, it's just off and all that kind of stuff, because she's like, you text me talking about he don't fuck you and he don't come home. She was like, yeah, I did text you that. And Lil Lyrica's like, when they were having an issue, she confided in Patrice, but she never expected for Patrice to, do this, go back and tell all her business like that. And I'm like, sometimes you got to watch what you tell people, because they, hold on to information just in case they ever need it. And when they need it, it's just like word vomit. It comes up. So then Big L walks in, and I'm sorry, but Big L's face, it just does not move at all. Like, I'm like, God damn, stop with the plastic surgery, because your face is just not moving at all. So when she walks in, she's asking what's going on, and then Patrice, says it has, ask her daughter or something like that, and then, Big L and Patrice get into it, and they start fighting with each other, and then Lil Lyrica throws a drink at Patrice, and that's how the episode ended, with them fighting with each other. So that was Love and Hip Hop. Like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Some of you guys, if you are into Power Rangers, I will be reviewing the Power Rangers 25th anniversary episode that comes on tomorrow night on Nickelodeon.